Welcome back, ladies and mullets, to another episode on the podcast, A Hand, the Refinery Worker. I'm your host, Shaq the Beast, and I'm here to talk about different crafts. There are some individuals that they love their craft. There are some individuals that they want to get out of their craft. And before we full on get into it, go ahead, take a second, like this, share it, drop a comment, and talk about it. Just spread the word about A Hand, the Refinery Worker podcast here on YouTube as well as Spotify. So go ahead, definitely do that for me, guys. It's greatly appreciated. I love you guys. Your feedback is awesome. Everything about you guys is definitely great, and you guys move me and you touch me with everything that you tell me. I appreciate everything. So back at it, loving your craft and actually wanting to stay in your craft. There are a lot of people that either love their craft and they are diehard, go get it. They start from the bottom, or if they're someone's kinfolk, they start at the top and they just keep going up or whatever, you know. So just die hard for your craft. And then you have the people that want to get out of their craft. I know I was one of them. I've explained my story to you guys. But if you're a newcomer, I started as a scaffold builder. I've been in the refineries for 8 years, give or take. And I believe it's going on 9 because I did 5 years as a scaffold builder. Like it's a jail sentence. 5 years as a scaffold builder, and it's going on 4 as a rigger. Crane and rigging is definitely something I love and enjoy. I do. I love and enjoy it. I enjoy it fully. It's just awesome to me. As a scaffold builder, at first I did. I enjoyed my craft, and it was amazing. And then honestly, what I could say changed for me was the people. The craft is pretty much never going to change. The craft is going to be what it is. It's going to be who it is. It's going to mirror itself every day. You're going to do the same thing with a little bit of change here and there, but it's going to be the same thing. The only thing that dramatically changes, unless you're running with the same crew, are the people. Whether it's supervision, uh, your hands, your helpers, your carpenters, your journeymen, those people change. They come and go. So you could have a good crew and run with a crew for what? I ran with a good crew for about 2 years. Then when we split up, it was crap from then on out. And the people that I had to work with, I was just like, holy shit. So the craft doesn't change, the people do. Now with crane and rigging, it's awesome because typically it's just you, the crane operator, a rigger, a crane operator, or 2 riggers. On the job that I'm on right now, we have 3 riggers. We have to have a power line watch, and that's common when you're working within close proximity of a power line. But we're in a safe enough distance. It's the third person is just there as a precaution. There are standards and OSHA rules. You have to be but so far from something, you can't encroach on it, and if you do get close, you have to have a watcher. But we're not. We're on the outside in the safe zone, but we're doing it as a precaution, and it's fine because we can all rotate. But my point in that is, it's typically the crane operator and a rigger, or the crane operator and 2 riggers, and it's lovely when you got scaffold. You could have a crew of like 10 people, and you're lucky if you get 4 of them that are actually good hands and want to work. I'm not sorry. I'm not going to say I'm sorry. I'm going to tell the truth. And there are a lot of scaffold builders that are trying to get out of scaffold because, not because they're lazy. A lot of the guys that I've helped and that have gotten out with me, It's not because we're lazy. It's because we work hard and people are just not holding up to their end of the bargain. They're lead men and they can't lead dehydrated horse to a bucket of water. It's horrible. And I think it's the generation, all this woke bullshit, but I'm not gonna get into politics on this channel. It's not what I'm doing. I don't care about any of that shit. I'm just talking about what is the truth. The younger generation, some of them, majority of them, they want a paycheck, but they don't want to earn it. They don't want to work for it. They just want to hand it to them. And that's not how life works. It really is not. So the people that want to stay in their craft, and I've worked with some jam up scaffold builders. I knew this dude first long time ago. He had the skull and a scaffold hammer and a ratchet, but he was a jam up hand. He wanted to stay in his craft. He loved his craft. He perfected everything about what he did at work, and he never missed a beat. And that's how I am with crane and rigging. I love everything about it. Building the cranes, I'm still learning. Doing the lifts, I've done that. I've done turnarounds, so that's kind of normal to me. But learning to build the cranes is definitely fun. And I've had my fair share of time back at the yard operating cranes. It's I love it. It's fun. I love it. I love what I do, and I enjoy what I do. And I did the episode on the audio podcast with talking about Randall and how he broke me out, and I'm forever in his debt and grateful for him. And I've had a bunch of people that love their craft. Randall was one of them. He got out. I believe it was due to COVID. I've spoken to him about it, but that's his business. On top of that, and but other than that, I've had a lot of good, like, people that have mentored me on jobs, that have helped me out and shown me things, and that have sat me down and taught me things. And then in the moment, as we were working, taught me things. Mr. Ray Sample, he's an old school operator. Like, when I say old school, that man's an old school operator. And he came up in an era where safety is like, safety what? So yeah, he definitely was a big part of mentoring me, and even down to the youngster I said that he was my rigging partner, but is now a supervisor right now, Jordan Wade. And then you got, there are so many people that have taken had a hand in helping to kind of mold me and continue to mold me. Bobby Dawson, who, by the way, is doing much better. He's back to work. All your prayers, and including mine, because I was praying every day. He pulled through, and he's doing great now. He's getting better. He's getting stronger. Bobby, I love you. And Buddy, he's still working on it. God is working on him. But these guys are jam up hands that are in the crane and rigging department, and I love them. But Bobby Dawson definitely had a hand in helping me to become who the rigger that I am. My work ethic has always been there, so I am one that loves my craft. I love what I do, and it's like ride or die for me. There are some people that are trying to get out of crane and rigging, and to each his own. Whatever works for you, whatever makes you happy. Because I always say, if you enjoy it, it's not work. At that point, it's not work. You can't call it work because it's not hard. So that's the good thing about loving what you do and loving your craft. And I've helped a few people, like my buddy Callie. I worked with him for a while, and we definitely had some horrible moments in scaffold where we had to like lean on each other and pull through and build some shitty ass scaffolds and do some crazy off the wall stupid shit. And I knew, and I know, that if I ever, when I send him on a job, or if I turn his name in and send him out for work, he's gonna do an amazing job, and he's done that. And those are the scaffold builders and people that I'll help. I've helped plenty of people, and now it's funny. My buddy Will calls me. He's like, "Hey, I had to fire one of your guys, and a guy that knows you." And he told me Cali, and I was like, "I'm gonna fucking kick his ass," but it didn't sound right to me. He's like, "No, I'm just kidding. He's right here." It's our craft is so awesome. We stick together, we rally together, and we love one another, and we love what we do. You cannot go wrong at all when you love what you do. Every day, every day I go to work, and I'm fine with going to work. It was to the point when I would get up in the morning as a scaffold builder and be like, "Man, I hate this. I don't even want to go to work." But I have bills to pay. I have a family to provide for, and I had to go to work. So I went to work even though I didn't want to. But some moments in that time period, it was we had fun, and then some we didn't. I have some funny moments that are in my memory bank stored up. I'll give you one of them. Oh boy, Carl Sims. And anybody watching this knows, man, we were in Texas City, and I was the foreman over this crew on nights. Callie was on days, and Cox was the GF, and you could leave the plant out there in Texas City. So we left to go get Whataburger, and I used to dip. I was a big dipper. I dipped a lot, and I had a spit cup. Long story short, Carl drank from my spit cup. Man, that motherfucker was shitting and throwing up for like 2 hours straight. It was so bad that I didn't even. I dropped him off at a porta can, and I lined the guys out. I went and I got my permit, and I had them load up. They went and started their scaffold. I would just drive by this porta can like ever so often to make sure he didn't die. I felt so bad. But yeah, it's just, and we all laughed about it. And for the rest of the turnaround, even the operations, they started calling him Whataburger. We had some fun times, and some jobs were better than others, and some situations were better than others. But there are definitely people that are diehard for their craft, and Stephen Cox is definitely one of them. He talks a good game, but he loves scaffold. I didn't love it that much. I'm definitely in love with the craft that I'm in now. Crane and rigging is we do some amazing shit. And some of the stuff that we do with these cranes, even the little cranes, people talk shit. Oh, you're on a picker, you're on a draught. You're running that 4 ton carry deck. These things pick up hundreds of pounds that a human being can't pick up by themselves, and stick them into places that you probably couldn't stick it into by yourself with by hand. So the fact that these pieces of machineries, with the knowledge that the individual underneath the hook and the person in the seat, what we do to get things into tight spots, into high spots, long radiuses, and things of that nature, we do some amazing shit. We are the ones, the biggest footprint, the biggest thing out there. You see the crane, regardless of what company it is, you're like, holy shit, that's a big crane. That's us. That's us. Definitely. And I've seen the biggest cranes pick up something so small, and I've seen smallest cranes pick up something so big. It's awesome. It amazes me. And in one refinery here in Houston, I'm actually at that refinery right now. I met Jeff Simmons there, Jose Lopez, and the guy Randall that broke me out. We all met on this one job. I was still a builder, and they cleared out the area. I don't know if I told the story, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. I don't give a fuck. They cleared out the entire unit. They put a structure together. It was prefab, and they lifted. I believe it was a tandem lift. Jeff Simmons, if you see this, maybe you could tell me I'm right or wrong. But I said to my helper, I said, "Man, they're not gonna fucking get the thing in here." And Jacob is they provided the ironworkers, which is also kind of a part of our craft, crane and rigging ironworkers. So they picked it before they picked it up. They, like I said, they cleared out the unit and said, you know, everybody could stand out. And I told my helper, I said, they're not gonna get this in here. Man, they set that motherfucker with ease, and then like little roaches, the ironworkers came in, like, stabbing balls, and somebody, the other guys were coming behind them and rattling the shit out. I was just like, and my helper looked at me. His name is Jaime. He said, what'd you say? I was like, oh shit. I loved it. I loved it from then on. And the funny part about it is I never thought I'd see Jeff Simmons again or Jose Lopez or any of those guys. Sure enough, I saw him again. I saw him again, and now we all work together. It's crazy. But that just stay determined, stay hungry, ride or die for your craft. If you're not in something or doing something you love, you have to find it. Find what you do and what you love and just go out there and get it. Know what you want and don't give up. Always go for it. Ladies and mullets, I mean, thank you for rocking with me all the time. Y'all are the best. Go ahead. Don't forget to comment, smash the like button, and share it, man. Talk about it. A hand, the refinery worker. If you guys got ideas, I know a couple of guys threw out a couple of ideas. I got to do a little bit more, not research, but just like thinking about it because to me, some of the ideas, they sound like things I've covered on my audio podcast on Spotify, but I could retouch on things. I mean, if you guys want it, I'll do it. So be on the lookout for one episode about people forgetting where they came from. If you started from the bottom, you should know where you came from. So yeah, that should be up next. But for right now, like I said, smash the like button, comment. Don't forget to subscribe. And man, I love you guys. Lazy Mullets, I'm out of here. Put God first. I always say that. Be a hand, not a pinky. We don't fuck with that shit. Definitely don't be a worm. Y'all be safe. I'm out.